Is your sweet little one 6 months and you're wondering, what is going on with their sleep? What sleep stages do we even have right now? What should I be keeping an eye out for? Don't worry, I've got you. My name is Anna and I'm the owner of Little Wing Sleep, and today we are talking about 6-month-old sleep. I love 6-month-olds because that resiliency with sleep is building, and yet we still have that flexibility of a young baby where we can keep things going in different settings. So let's talk about what is a healthy baseline for a 6-month-old. At this point, often we're going to be seeing them sleeping 10 to 12 hours a night, especially if they're over that 13 to 15 pound mark. If baby is struggling to gain weight or you want to keep feeds in because of your milk supply or for any other reason, that's absolutely okay. We're all about helping you where you're at. So if things are working, that's awesome. What I find at around about the 6-month mark is when things start to get a little rough. We've had that 4-month regression, so things change, and often as we hit these developmental leaps, things can get a little bit more complicated and a little bit tougher. So we usually have about 10 to 12 hours of night sleep, or maybe just 1 or 2 feeds, depending on you and your baby and your goals. Then we're going to have 3 naps, generally 2 larger naps and then a cat nap. The first 2 naps, we're going to be capping at around 2 hours, and often that first nap is going to start around about that 9 o'clock point. Their awake time is going up towards 2.5 hours now. And I often find this is a hard point where babies kind of get stuck at around 2 to 2 hours and 15 minutes when they really need to be at 2.5 hours to help them kind of get past that point where they actually have enough sleep pressure to get some long naps. We still need that little cat nap, and by cat nap I mean like a 20 to 30 to 40 minute nap between the last nap of the day and bedtime to make sure they can get right through to bedtime. If we don't have a cat nap, we definitely need to pull bedtime forward. One of the big things that we're going to be looking at in this range is nap transitions. Between about 6 and 8 months, we're going to get the transition from 3 to 2 naps. This is where we're going to drop that last cat nap of the day. Some people have a short nap at the day that they're dropping. However, the first nap of the day is the best quality. So we want to keep that one there. We want to make sure that we've got the best quality nap at the beginning of the day. I always tell my clients that we always want bedtime and nap 1 to be priority in the crib. This is also a stage at 6 months where we can kind of go, okay, on the go naps can get a little bit harder. However, I want you to keep working at them. Just as much as napping or sleeping in their crib is a skill, so is napping on the go, in the carrier, the car, the stroller, whatever that may be, or in the pack and play at grandma's or auntie's house, whatever that looks like. Keep those skills going. Have a nap on the go at least every 3rd day to make sure that we're keeping it in their skill set. This makes when things are on the go and we need to have a nap here or there, it makes things a whole lot easier because baby is still feeling confident in how to do that. By keeping that skill across the first year, it means that we're able to keep going and that resiliency is there, that flexibility for traveling, for doing things with the family, for going to the beach is all there. I often find when you're doing a nap on the go with 6 months and above, that attempting a nap exactly on time or a little bit before can be really hard because they don't have that drive to sleep, that sleep pressure, that build up that they are like, yeah, I really need sleep. And so it can often be more successful if you try about 10 to 15 minutes after when you'd usually put them down for a nap, just so they're not overtired, but they've got a little bit more sleep pressure. It can really help things. So we want to keep those on the go naps. We want to make sure that our awake time is at around 2.5 hours. For some kids, that's going to give or take, right? And at the end of the day, often longer than at the start of the day. Now, heading into this nap transition, we're going to start like dropping that last nap. And we go through all of our nap transitions in Navigating Naps and also in both of our courses, Nurturing Newborns and Sleep Sleep Baby. At 6 months, we also have a couple of really big developmental leaps. Big one being the world of relationships, where they now understand things that are going together. So they understand like where like the fork is in relation to the knife, their arm is in relation to their body, that mom isn't moving away from me and that mom is coming towards me. All of that world, those distances, that now really coming to life. We can see this as baby kind of feels a little bit anxious as things move away from them because they don't necessarily yet understand that they still exist even though they can't see them. Peekaboo is a really fantastic game for your baby, or hide and seek, like just behind a blanket, as they are learning how things go and reappear. You're also going to be noticing that your baby's starting to make some movements, maybe sitting up on their own, they're mastering more rolling, maybe they're starting to crawl. Crawling is incredibly significant for a child, so significant, and for sleep. Now, keep in mind when your baby goes and is learning all of these skills during the day, that then they're actually going to be processing them into long-term memory at night. And this is where sleep becomes really important, because if we wake up while that memory is processing, and this is why another reason why we want baby to wake up when they're hungry rather than us waking them up, because if you get woken up during a transfer of a memory, you actually don't remember it, aka a part of mom brain, right? You're like transferring things into long-term memory, and then you're like, I don't remember it the next day. And maybe that was the point that you got woken up. And it's okay. We have the ability to relearn things, and it takes multiple times doing something to really learn something and master it. So make sure that you are mastering those skills, that you understand, like you're going through whatever they're learning and understanding, you're going through it at daytime so they're able to master it, because it's at nighttime, it's during sleep that they're really going to process those skills. I dive much deeper into this on our developmental and regressions podcast that you can check out. We actually have a full class in it in Sleep Baby. It's a 45-minute class and it really digs deep into it. I love it. Anyway, so 6-month-olds, we got them. We may have 1 or 2 night feeds in there still. We're nearing that nap transition. We're at that 2.5-hour wake window. One of our biggest priorities is to keep those naps on the go and to look out for those developmental leaps. I know that there's a lot going on at this 6-month point. You may still have 1 or 2 night feeds in there. So I want to give you some tips on how to kind of like really help those night feeds move out if baby is ready. When babies have healthy sleep skills, they often have an easier time just shifting out those night feeds whenever they're ready. So here's 3 things that you can do to help move your baby's night feeds out if they still have them at 6 months. First of all, let's wait for baby to wake up. Let's not wake them up. I know dream feeding can be really helpful. However, it actually can make baby think that, anytime that I'm waking up, I should be feeding, and feel kind of panicked when they wake up. So let's wait for them to wake up. We want them to trust their bodies and know that they're hungry. Let's wait for them. Let's give them a moment. Maybe they're going to go back to sleep. Maybe they're not. You're watching the monitor or you're nearby, but we're listening. What are we hearing? What are they saying? Then we're going to go in. So we're going to, A, wait for them to wake up themselves. B, we're going to give them a couple of minutes. I'm not talking forever. You want to make sure that you are feeding that baby within at the 10-minute point, or even a little bit sooner. Maybe it's a little bit later, but absolutely, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it at the beginning of a wake up when baby's really awake. We're not going to linger on it and wait 45 minutes. No. Okay, so then we're going to change the diaper. After we've changed the diaper, give baby a big full feed. Keep them wide awake and then back into the crib. I want you to make sure you change that diaper so that we have a really full feed and that baby's able to really engage in getting those big gulps down. Also, if you need help with this, make sure you check out Sleep Baby or ask your question in the comments below. We're here to help you guys, and I am glad. Let's jump on over to 7 months because I actually really like 7-month-olds.
Hey there, Mama. Are you feeling exhausted, frustrated, and just a little defeated? I hear you, and I've been there, and thankfully, I can help. Let's teach your baby to sleep. I'm talking 10 to 12 hours of sleep each night. Little Wink's Sleep Baby program uses a science-based, gentle, parent-present approach that fosters healthy attachment while teaching independent sleep skills. We don't believe in letting your baby cry it out. This program includes everything you need, such as our insider strategies, both on night sleep and naps, as well as extras like our monthly live Q&A.